I remember one morning I was running, going for interviews, and then in a suit and so on. I didn't realize it was black ice. The only thing I remembered, I was lying on the floor because of the black ice. Actually, my name is Simon Mutabazi, and I was born in Rwanda. That's where I grew up. Did my education there, primary, secondary school, and moved to Tanzania to do my university studies there, and back home to Rwanda. And then there was a war in Rwanda. That's back in 1994, and then I was forced to leave Rwanda. Life in Rwanda, like in many African countries, when we were growing up, there was almost everything around you, be it food, people, and so on. And no one was hungry, of course. If you are hungry, you can go to your neighbors, your aunties, and so on, which is different here. You don't have any uncles or aunties, or sometimes you don't even know your next door neighbor. But growing up, definitely, it was a life of many memories, playing around with other kids, growing up in extended families, and so on. Number one, it was a shock, especially when it comes to weather. I remember one morning I was running, going for interviews, and then in a suit and so on. I didn't realize it was black ice. The only thing I remembered, I was lying on the floor because of the black ice. So that aspect wasn't that good in terms. But Halifax, people are really friendly. That's one thing I realized that really warmed my heart. As you can tell, when you move around, everybody will be smiling, will be greeting you, even people who you don't even know. That aspect was really very good. But also the other challenge when I moved to Halifax, I think the first, if not the second family, Rwandese family. So you can imagine you don't have somebody to speak your mother tongue with. Even the children, they are even forced to speak only one language. That aspect, social life, it was tough. You left all your friends, family, and went behind, and then you realize that you had to start from scratch, sometimes from below zero, because you don't know anybody. Actually, when I arrived, there was an organization called MISA. It was a migrant settlement program. They really helped me do a job posting, like introduction to many and various organizations, so that I can make connections. That's how actually, after probably two to 3 months of my arrival, I was introduced to the government of Nova Scotia through a job posting program. It was supposed to last 2 months, but now it has taken 20 years now. So that was my first job, actually, with the province of Nova Scotia as the provincial extension forester. Like I mentioned, memories. When I was growing up, there's all kinds of food I used to eat. Things like green bananas, green beans, sweet potatoes, which are different from what we found here. All kinds of fish like tilapia and so on. There was no such things here. So what used to happen every summer, me and my family, we take a long trip to Montreal. Coming back, that's about 2,000 kilometers. And then we'll load the minivan. We used to go with a minivan. We loaded the minivan with the food that we'll eat probably for 6 to 8 months. And one of the trips, I realized that the fish I was going to get in Montreal was coming from here. Actually, the company that distributes the fish is based out of Halifax. And then I took note. And that went on for about 4 or 5 years. And then I said, enough is enough. And myself and my brother, Teresfo, we said, why don't we start our own business here? Probably there are many other people who are in the same shoes like us. Instead of driving every summer, it's tiring to go to Montreal and so on. That's how the idea started. We started with a small list of products. And then soon after starting, we realized that, there are so many needs, many and varied needs from different communities. And then we kept on expanding. But right now, if you are from West Africa, Nigeria, Ghana, Ivory Coast, Togo, Cameroon, you can get anything you want from here. If you are from South Africa, East Africa, Central Africa, you can get almost anything from here. If you are from Jamaica, you can get anything from here. Even we included the products, people from Brazil, they miss, they can get them here. So we try to make sure that we are inclusive. We try to make sure that we can really source what people really want. Kalisimbi, it's a mountain back home. It's the highest peak in Rwanda. Its altitude is 4,507 meters above sea level. If you look at our number, the last 4 digits is 4507. According to our belief and tradition, good people, if you have done good deeds here and on earth, once your life is over here, you go to Kalisimbi. That's where the best people go. So the symbol of Kalisimbi is that we have to offer the best of the best to the community. So, of course, when you start a journey, you don't know sometimes where it takes you, but our goal is to continue contributing to the community, saving the communities, God willing, probably maybe even offering or creating other branches across the country. Because right now, what we do in order to save people who live outside Halifax, we do send items per bus, special deliveries. We deliver to Yarmouth, to Sydney, even to New Brunswick, Pierre, and Newfoundland. Number one, it's funding it's not easy. Finding the means and so on. Some people wonder, how did you do this? Sometimes you do things, your partner, your wife will say, are you crazy, whatever. Do you think this is wise doing this kind of stuff? You have to struggle. But that's number one. Number two, of course, sourcing the products is another issue as well. As you can tell here at Kalisimbi, most of the products come from Africa. A couple of years ago, before COVID, to bring a container here was about 5,000. Now it's close to 17,000. To bring one pallet from Montreal, Toronto, it was about 200, 300. Now it's about 1,100. So the transport costs, that's another thing. Sometimes you feel like probably you are being cheated, but that's the reality. The transport is very, very expensive. The other thing, sometimes also to get the people to work for you, because sometimes people will come speaking in their mother languages and say, oh, I want this product, that speaking, let's say, Kiswahili or whatever. And if you don't understand that language, it's hard to deal with that client. That's why, at least here, we are so lucky at Kalisimbi. Myself, I can speak 6 or 7 languages, so is my brother Teresfo, and that helps. Anybody who comes here speaking Swahili, we can talk. If you come speaking here Kinyarwanda, French, or Kirundi, we can talk. If you speak Chichewa, Kinyanja, we can talk. Portuguese, we can talk. So probably I'm going to learn how to speak Yoruba, Hausa, and so on, so that at least. But one good thing is that people coming from that particular side of Africa are well educated. They speak fluent English and French, so we communicate that way. But in other communities, sometimes you may get also a language barrier. Yeah, when we started, like I mentioned, we started focusing simply on Central and East Africa. And then we realized that, the needs and the requests that are coming in are mostly from West Africa. Then we combined the two. And then we started realizing you order one item, one pallet, within a week or two, they are gone. Then you increase, and then at one point you say, you need to have at least what you need here at all costs at any time. The period of saying, no, I'm going to order in 2 weeks, that period is gone. We have to have everything we may need at the same time. So when people started coming, and especially about 4 or 5 years ago, there was really an increase in population here in Nova Scotia, especially the African community. That's when we realized that things are really changing and probably moving in the direction we want it to be, because doing business, it's about, acquiring stuff, but also be able to sell the products. Yeah, it's always there, sometimes we are learning also sometimes. Sometimes when you order stuff thinking that I'm going to sell this, and then only to realize that you can sell so much. And in the end, you end up, destroying so many products. Like you said, you destroy the pallet or two of, let's say, Indomie because of the expiration date is near or has happened before. So those are the things and challenges that we have to learn from. Sometimes we have to learn from our mistakes. So there are certain products that we feel that go faster than the others. So when making the big orders, when you're buying a container from Nigeria or Ghana, you have to make sure that things are done in the proportions that will be supposed to be sold at. Instead of having 5 pallets, or let's say of Golden Moon, I would rather have 5 pallets of beans and gari, and then probably 1 pallet of Golden Moon. Yeah, but before we didn't know that. We say, a product is a product, but now we know which moves fast compared to the other. We are actually community oriented. We have supported many functions, then many organizations. Every year we get requests, be it the Nigerian Association of Nova Scotia, Ghanaian Association, United Women, and so on and so on. So whenever there is a request, we try to help as much as possible. And now what we have also started doing, we started doing the inventory. Right now we are trying to computerize every product we have here so that we know we have this much, and then in about all this time probably we need to do this before it expires, so that we can even start sharing and giving back to the community, sharing with people instead of going to landfills. So we will never again be waiting for the products to be damaged or whatever in order to be able to do something. So we are going to be proactive from now onwards in terms of getting some help to people in need. Oh yeah, so for example, right now I know I didn't know about agege and agege bread before starting Kalisimbi, for example. Very soon we are going to have fresh made agege bread here. That is coming soon, probably sometime next month or the month after. That's number one, and probably God willing, who knows? Myself, I like music, African music, and I like African food. Sometimes we miss so many things when we wonder why we are not here. Probably that's another project of another day. If we want, for example, what we call nyama choma, which is the roasted meat on barbecue or whatever, or fish. I think that should be the next step. All I can say, it's okay to dream. If you don't dream, there is no way you're going to achieve that. Think that you are capable of doing things, because basically they say a journey of 1,000 miles always starts with the very first mile, the very first step. There is nothing wrong by trying. That's how we started. We started by trying and making connections, for example. Right now, the way we are, we have people who can trust us. And it's not like the way we started, whereby you have to pay first and then get the stuff. No, they want us. They know that they can also rely on us. So all I can say to a new person out there who wants to start, please do. Do not waste time, just dream and try to put your dreams into reality by acting. Because without acting, there's nothing that you can achieve.
Thank you so much. You have an amazing business. Thank you for setting it up.
Okay. No problem.